This is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening, everyone. A Moorhead woman is pleading with the community to get a COVID-19 vaccine as her unvaccinated boyfriend remains hospitalized and in tough shape tonight, fighting the virus and double pneumonia.
The woman says both she and her boyfriend contracted COVID almost 2 weeks ago, but says because she's vaccinated, she hasn't had much trouble. She says her boyfriend, however, is in Sanford's COVID unit on the multiple medications and oxygen with no end in sight.
Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley spoke to the woman today, who urges the public not to wait until it's too late.
Fargo chiropractor Daniel Pazarski hasn't been home for the last 5 days, with text messages as his only way to talk to his girlfriend, Christina Steinert.
He'll message me a few words and he'll say, I'm not breathing okay. I'm having severe chest pain. He thinks he's getting weaker and weaker.
Pazarski was hospitalized last Thursday after battling a fever of over 100 and low oxygen levels for almost a week.
I was the one kind of pushing him all weekend, like, maybe it's COVID, and he just continued to think it wasn't.
Steinert says she tested positive for COVID-19 shortly after Pazarski, but says thanks to her 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, her bout with the virus has been mild. And Steinert says despite her push, she says Pazarski didn't want to get the vaccine because it's yet to be officially approved by the FDA. A decision Pazarski himself says he regrets, posting this photo on Facebook his first day in the hospital with the caption, quote, "Karma's a bitch. I should have gotten the vaccine."
It hurts him more now knowing that this vaccine could have helped him versus like how my symptoms are right now and how his symptoms are. He really wishes that he would have been vaccinated.
Steinert says while intubation isn't needed yet, Pazarski does use a machine to help him breathe and says it's unknown how long his road to recovery could be. She says she hopes sharing her story will help those on the fence decide to get vaccinated before it's too late.
Don't just do it for yourself, do it for your friends and your family, people around you.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Sanford Health says it currently has 9 patients in its COVID-19 unit in downtown Fargo, and as of last week, All True stated that they only had 2 patients hospitalized due to the virus.
According to the Department of Health, North Dakota only saw 25 new cases of the virus today compared to 58 new cases on this day last year. North Dakota's active COVID cases have nearly tripled within the last month, going from roughly 150 cases on July 2nd to today's 448. However, things were much worse at this time last year as North Dakotans were battling nearly 1,100 active cases.
Eventide is requiring all employees to get the COVID-19 vaccine by October 1st. New employees are also required to have the vaccine. The president and CEO says with the number of cases rising, much in part to Delta variant, he believes that we must act now to protect our residents and staff. Many organizations are urging all healthcare and long-term care employers to require employees to be vaccinated.
The North Dakota Department of Health is hosting a town hall event this week to discuss back-to-school immunizations. It's this Friday at 2 p.m. Doctors from across the state will talk about back-to-school immunizations and COVID vaccines for children and teens. We'll have the link on our website where you can watch the event and submit questions to the doctors.
Warmer temps returned today, as did the smoke from Canada. The real change that I think most of us would like to see is rain. Let's get the very latest from Hutch. Hutch?
Indeed, that would be beneficial on all fronts and maybe even help extinguish or at least help get under control some of the fires up north. Here's a look at the latest air quality. The areas you see in red, unhealthy for all folks out in central portions of Minnesota, once again with challenging air conditions here in the Red River Valley heading into the evening. Now, the visible satellite imagery showing that smoke as really this gray plume that's working its way out of Canada and into the northern shore of Lake Superior. Notice this plume here heading into the northern valley. You may see an increase in those surface smoky conditions in the upcoming hours or two, but most of our locations have much better visibility than we had this weekend, and that is a good sign. Air quality alert does remain into effect till Tuesday afternoon. We'll show you why maybe that gets extended. We'll still be dealing with smoke in the forecast. Tonight, temperatures in the 80s all the way through sunset, increasing clouds during the overnight hours. Grand Forks similarly with a better chance of some haze and smoke in your skies. Down south, we're seeing some as well. Your hour-by-hour forecast for a chance of rain coming up here in just a bit. We're saying there's a chance. We'll tell you when and where here in just a few minutes.
All right, good news there. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
We have new details tonight as the search continues for the man wanted in the death of his wife. Eric Reinbold is the primary suspect in the murder, and now he faces second-degree murder charges. According to authorities, one of the victim's boys says that they last saw their mother crying because Reinbold accused her of being unfaithful. Investigators say that they searched Reinbold's phone and found text messages accusing his wife, Lisette, of cheating, demanding sex from her, and fighting over finances. If Reinbold is found and convicted, he faces up to 40 years in prison. A Fergus Falls, Minnesota man is in jail tonight after he admitted to repeatedly slamming a child's head into a wall. Police found a boy with a head injury in the home. Reggie Bethel first told police that the boy was cleaning up dog urine and slipped. The boy's mother later told police that Bethel repeatedly banged his head into the floor and wall, and that Bethel does it regularly to discipline him. Bethel later admitted to lying and trying to get the boy's mother to do the same. The boy underwent surgery to relieve bleeding, swelling in the brain. We're awaiting a condition update.
A structure in Polk County is considered a total loss after it was destroyed by fire. That happened today at 38270 260th Avenue Southeast in rural McIntosh. The owner of the building wasn't hurt. The fire appears to be accidental. Another Minnesota mosque has been vandalized, this one in southern Minnesota at a Mankato mosque, and it was caught on camera. Officials with the Mankato Islamic Center reported two vandals, a man and a woman, spray painted offensive words early Saturday morning on a car belonging to one of the mosque's members. Earlier this year, a mosque in Moorhead was spray painted with hate speech and a swastika. 22-year-old Benjamin Enderle was released from jail on Friday, sentenced to probation and community service.
Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota introduced legislation last week that would send $1,200 per month to American adults making less than $75,000 annually. The program would start in 2028 if it was passed as is. Similar legislation has shown promise in Kenya and India, and preliminary results in Finland seem to show improved health and well-being. Cattle auctions are setting records in the number of cattle coming through, and while the income may not be welcome, it's not all positive. The more cattle sold, the more income at one time. The more you make at the auction, the more you pay in taxes. Many are selling their cattle because they have to, so they're looking for financial relief to help them survive and rebuild. In a normal year, Richard Tokak says that he can get 4 bales of hay per acre. This year, it takes 4 acres to get 1 bale. He doesn't think he'll have enough to get through the winter, so he'll be selling more of his cattle.
For us, yes, it's hard. I mean, you've spent my lifetime and perhaps my dad's lifetime, putting things together, and so yeah, it makes a difference. Yeah.
With nearly every county disaster declared, these ranchers have the ability to defer those taxes for years. Some can make the deferment payments permanent if they're able to replace the livestock within 4 years.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, North Dakota has reasons to smile when it comes to gold medal winners during the Olympics.
And the hot, dry weather continues across the valley. In fact, July closed out in Fargo very dry, and Grand Forks as well. 3 inches short of average for the month and only 66 hundredths here in the FM area. It was a hot July as well, 4th and 6th warmest on record. Your forecast brings a chance of rain. Details next.